Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you my macro outlook on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, and my projections on what we're expecting in the next upcoming weeks and months. Okay, let's just jump straight in. This is Bitcoin USD on the daily time frame. Okay, let's waste no time here. So this is Bitcoin USD. What you can see here is we have range highs at about 74k. We have range lows coming in at about 60k. And we have a mid range here about 66 to 67k. Okay. And what we've recently seen unfold over the last couple weeks is very, very significant on the future of where Bitcoin's going to be heading in the medium to short term. And ultimately, if we can break past these barriers into the longer back end of this bull market, the longer term. Okay. So what we've seen here is clearly we had this key level at around 60k. You've got one pivot here, two pivots, three, four, and essentially what we've seen here is, potentially a fifth pivot from this level. Okay. So now that we understand this is the key level that we're looking at here, 60k, what did we witness? Okay. We've seen a deviation below our 60k level, this aggressive sell-off and essential breakout. That's what it looks like to retail. We've got a breakout, and then we've had an immediate reaction and reclaimed this level here. So essentially, this is a deviation and reclaim setup. So that's when you've got a key level. Okay, key level here. You see price come down, deviate, then reclaim. This is your new floor here, and then you're going to look to trade that to the upside. Okay, so while Bitcoin was making this deviation play, a lot of altcoins had some very significant discounts, around 50 or more percent. Okay, so that's where you're going to be looking at accumulating your spot bags, your longer term conviction plays. Okay, so we've seen this deviation here, reclaim. Therefore, this becomes the new essential floor. Okay, this is the floor. This is where you're going to look for buyers to hold. If we don't hold 60k, then we're in trouble, and we're going to look to potentially test these lower levels down here at this order block around 52 to 50k. Okay, but we can only trade what we are currently seeing, and what we currently see is a deviation and reclaim. So that's what we're going to trade. Okay, so our thesis is that we've deviated, reclaimed, and we're going to look to target the mid range. We've currently hit the mid range here. This is where the first sort of bull case where buyers are going to look to maybe take some profits. Once we clear that, we're going to look to target range highs up at about 74k. So that's my thesis on Bitcoin. I see this as a deviation reclaim, look to target higher. Okay. Also, another thing to note is around this time last week or a couple of weeks ago, on this breakout, the sentiment on Twitter and across the board with traders and investors was absolutely extremely bearish. Okay, so understand that when everybody is extremely bearish, you need to try take an alternative approach, even though you may be going through the maximum amount of pain. Okay, so that's my outlook on Bitcoin. At the moment, we are certainly bullish. We've currently targeted 67k. Clear that we're looking at 74k. And then, of course, we want to see price deviate and essentially hold above 74k, and that's when we're off to the races, guys. That's when altcoins are going to absolutely explode. Okay, so at the moment, Bitcoin definitely bullish on this market. There's no reason to really be anything other than that. Okay, let's jump on to Solana. Certainly more interesting than Ethereum. And let's break this one down for you guys. Solana USD, currently we're on the weekly time frame. What do we see here in terms of market structure? We've got a high in the market, higher low, higher high. Is this a potential higher low? So just in terms of raw market structure, we're looking like this, okay? So you do not want to fade the higher time frame trends. What we've essentially seen was a breakout of this level here. This was our weekly pivot level where sellers did step into the market. We've broke that level very convincingly, and therefore this is around 120 on Solana. That's USD, of course. This is the buy zone. Okay, this is where we're looking at longer term spot bags. Okay, we're looking to add within this 120 area. Let's say 125 to 110. This is your range area where you can look to add longer term spot bags. Whether we even come back into that area, I have no idea. But these are the areas where you need or should have at least been bidding if you do believe in Solana long term. We've got range highs up here at 210. Range highs are at 210. And let's drop down onto our daily perspective to take a look at what we've seen here. Please note we've got a weekly most recent fractal here, which is at 121. It looks like we deviated that, but we need to drop down to the daily perspective in order to confirm. So this white line here is our weekly fractal there. You can see we clearly deviated that on the daily time frame. Let's get rid of this blue area in mind, but just understand that 120 is your spot accumulation area. Anything below that is absolutely great. Okay, so daily manipulation, what did we see? This level here, this was manipulated and deviated below 120. We dipped down to about 118. This is a deviation, reclaim here. Therefore, entries on this retest were favorable. And then you have clear invalidation. Why do you have clear invalidation? Because look, we've deviated this. If buyers are going to step into the market, it's going to be here. We shouldn't see price close or at least wick down back below the area that we did deviate. So we have a clear invalidation there below this level at 118, and then we're going to look to target these highs. You've kind of got an equal high coming in the market here at about 160. We're currently broke above that level, and we are sort of off to the races. Okay, range highs are coming in here at 209 as discussed on the weekly. So in terms of the bull target, you've got this first one here at 160. Now that we've cleared that, we're going to be looking at targeting 210. Potential retests on this area, around 153 to 160. This is what buyers are going to, bulls are going to want to see this level hold. You wouldn't want to see like a sort of deviation, reclaim and retest, because then that's going to be looking at targeting these lows again. Okay. But, 160s need to hold, and then we're going to be targeting 200s areas into that weekly high. Okay, so that's what I see on Solana. We've had that weekly, that daily deviation and reclaim there, which also tied into our major level on the weekly, which was our spot bag accumulation area, which come in at a 120. So if you're trading the shorter time frames, that's what we're looking at on the daily. If you spot and chill, then you've got your 120 area to accumulate. I wouldn't want to see bulls lose that area. If we do, then you're going to be looking at coming down into these areas down here at about 86 and 77. That's where you're going to be selling the kidneys, guys. But in terms of what's happening right now, we can only trade what we're seeing, which was this deviation reclaim there. And then we're looking at pushing to the upside. So that's Solana broken down, guys, crystal clear. We are bullish, similar to Bitcoin, as you know, with the correlation. If anything, Solana is holding up better than Bitcoin, clearly indicated by this deviation here. It wasn't as deep, okay? The correction wasn't as deep. And for an asset that's more volatile like Solana, you'd expect the deviations to actually be deeper. But that indicates to us that, these buyers are being extremely aggressive. Not only that, we're essentially outperforming Bitcoin. Okay, and we're certainly outperforming Ethereum. Okay, so let's jump to Ethereum now. And I'm not too bullish on Ethereum. Okay, in terms of longer term, I think there's better projects to be positioned in. Okay, in terms of longer term spot bags, what do we have? We've got this area at $2,700, 2.7K. Okay, that is where you can look to add your longer term conviction plays within this area. Certainly, we'd be looking for a reaction to target these range highs at about 4K and then further continuation. But longer term spot bags, 2.6 to 2.7K within this range here. Personally, I believe there's better projects to be invested in than Ethereum, but it's certainly not a bad play. I do think there is certainly upside to Ethereum, but I just think there is better projects out there in terms of allocation. Okay, let's jump down to what we're seeing on Ethereum. We've got this weekly range low here, this pivot point at 2.85. What did we see on the daily? Let's drop down. We've seen similarly a deviation here. Let's mark that on for you guys so it's crystal clear. Deviation and reclaim. Very simple. Mark that on. We've seen this spike into the lows, manipulated these sort of early buyers out the market. Now we've retested that area and we're looking for this to hold. So, if bulls are going to step into this market, we've seen the manipulation. We shouldn't really see price dip down lower into 2.8. If we do, then we're going to probably expect to come down into this lower spot bag area where we're going to accumulate. Okay, but in terms of the daily for you guys that are trading, we've seen the manipulation, we've seen the reclaim and retest. Therefore, we should be essentially pumping to the upside. Let's mark this on for you guys. So you've got a picture here. We shouldn't deviate these lows again. Targets, we've got this sort of equal high area here. That's going to be a first sort of target at about a 1 to 2, 1 to 2 there. And then you do have these targets. You've got this area here, 3.7s, and then you're targeting up to 4.1s. That's the high there. Okay. I don't know if we're going to get there in terms of trading, guys, trading entries, but that's what we're going to be essentially looking at if you are a bull on Ethereum and if you are trading. These are your targets. You've got TP1 there, TP1, TP2, and TP3. Okay, that's what you're going to be targeting. So yeah, deviation there. We're going to be looking at targeting these levels higher. Okay. Yeah, that's my outlook on the majors there, your Bitcoins, Ethereums, and Solana. Let me know your thoughts in the comment if you have a similar outlook. But yeah, just wanted to keep this quite and short and sweet for you guys, just so you know my macro perspective and what we're looking at moving forward on these pairs there. All right, thanks for your time, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Cheers.